We're now going to take a look at the new spline features available in 10.5. So what I'm going to do is go up to the top view and just expand it. I'm going to create a spline just on the ground plane. Just go to create a spline object and just add in some points. Just clicking to create them. Within the spline editor, you're going to find there are two new buttons. And if we go ahead and switch over to the edit point mode, you can see we have a broken button for that broken tangent, and also for align tangent. So what this means is we have new ways we can control and manipulate points. There's also some keyboard shortcuts that have been added for length alignment and angle alignment while editing the tangents. So just in the normal mode, if we were to move around the tangent, it's going to align the length of the other tangent point on the other side. And there's no way to modify the angle separately or the length without using the new tools. So we can access the tools for the alignment and breaking them with keyboard shortcuts while we're editing the points. And the keyboard shortcuts you'll find under File, Options, and under Operations down towards the bottom. We have a new section that's the triggers in the spline editor. So we can have the angle constraint with Control, length constraint with the Shift key, and then we can realign the tangent with Control, Shift, and A. So if I hold down Control and now start to move around this point, what we're seeing is actually a length constraint. So even though in File Options, Control is supposed to be the angle constraint, it does at the moment control the length, and those two are just swapped. So all you got to do is just remember that they're swapped with keyboard shortcuts. You could switch them if you wanted to, but there's really no need. So now if I hold down Shift and start to pull, we can see that the angle constraint is active. So we can individually, or we can adjust this point and the length to make it different from the other one, but the angle, as you can see, will stay the same. So with Shift, we can adjust the angle constraint, Control, then the lengths are connected. So now if I go and move this around, even though I've constrained and made these changes, we do still have an automatic constraint on for both the length and the angle. If we want to manipulate the points separately, what we can do is set up a broken tangent. So that's this button here, the top new button. So now this is broken, which means we can adjust these individually and independent of each other. If you do want to enable the constraints with the Control and the Shift key, you still can. So Control for the angle and Shift for the length. Now if you want to realign the tangent, what you can do is Control, Shift, and A, and that will realign the tangent. Now it doesn't unbreak it, the tangent is still broken. So what you will need to do is unbreak the tangent, but as you can see, we still have that difference. So we would first need to align it. So this button down here for alignment is also the Control Shift A command, and then we can unbreak it if you want to put it back to normal. So align it first, and then you can unbreak. Now I do want to note that if the spline editor is closed, and we try to use the keyboard shortcuts, they won't apply. So the spline editor does have to be open in order to use the constraints and also change the point type. Or rather, the tangent type being broken or aligned. I also want to note, if you are unfamiliar with editing splines just in the main view and selecting objects within containers, one problem with this object is if I go to select the points just normally, it just selects the whole spline object because it's within a container. If I want to select the individual points, you can just hold down the control key while you click on the points that you want in order to select them. And it does look like I think I might have had the control key pressed a little bit when I started to move this point, so it does look like it actually broke the tangent. So you do need to be careful of that. And if you need to reset the point back, you can just open the spline, select the point, and then change the tangent type back, or just realign it, if that does happen.